Hey friends! Over the summer, Ellen DeGeneres was accused of creating a toxic work environment. And recently, at the start of season 18 of The Ellen Show, Ellen made a formal apology to her audience in regards to those allegations. Now, regardless of how you feel about Ellen as a person, and regardless of whether or not you think her apology was genuine, she made some really interesting statements that pertain to all of us that I want to talk about today. Now, if this is your first time here, I do want to personally welcome you to the HomeGrown Ministries YouTube channel. I'm DJ, and on this channel, I strive to provide you with biblical wisdom and encouragement to strengthen your walk of faith. And sometimes that spills over onto current events like this one. So during Ellen's apology, one of the things that she said that was really interesting, that struck me, was that she said she was accused of being someone different off-screen than she is on-screen. She said, I was accused of presenting this image on TV, and people are saying that that's not who Ellen actually is. And she then goes on to say, I am that person you see on TV, but I'm also other things too. I get sad sometimes, I get angry sometimes, I get impatient sometimes. And I feel that because I'm on YouTube, and there's only one side of me that you guys see when you watch these videos, and that is who I am. I am genuinely this person on this YouTube video. But I'm in a good mood right now, and I'm positive right now. But there are times in my day when I'm not in a good mood, and I'm not positive. And so I could be accused of this as well, and so could anybody that is in some type of media. Even look at your friends on Facebook. The things they post are always their highlights, and you're not seeing their behind the scenes. So I do think from that perspective, that speaks to pretty much every single person, is that you can be a lot of different things, and certain people may only see certain sides of you. And I think that's important to remember. And as Christians, we get accused of this all the time, right? When you tell someone you're a Christian and then they see you at a bad moment, they're going to say, well, that's not very Christian of you. And it's because none of us are perfect. We're Christians because we're broken. We're Christians because we need a doctor, right? We are sick, and we need a doctor or a savior who is Jesus Christ. So I can relate to this personally. What Ellen's saying here, I definitely can relate. Because sometimes I go back and watch my videos at a later date and I'm like, man, who is that guy? But that's still me. That's just me in a good mood. And I'm sure that Ellen feels that way too. The other thing she stated was that she is a work in progress, right? And we all are a work in progress. Every single person on the face of the planet is a work in progress. None of us are static people. And as Christians, we are called to strive to be good. We are not good, and we will never be perfect, but we are called to strive to be good because through our actions, through the way in which we react to situations around us, we can lead people to Christ. So God is calling us to lead a good life. And we're reminded in 1 Thessalonians 5:15 to make sure that nobody pays back wrong for wrong, but always strive to do what is good for each other and everyone else. If you are a Christian, you're watching this video, remember that is your calling. You are called to strive to do good to everyone. That includes those inside the church or inside the body of faith, as well as those outside the body of faith. Now, there is a very small chance that you're watching this video and you are actually directly impacted by Ellen, because I have an incredibly small YouTube channel. But maybe by chance or by luck, you're watching this video and you were a person that was directly impacted by the toxic work environment that Ellen is accused of. And if that is the case, and you are a Christian, remember you are called to forgive her. For all those other Christians watching this video, remember if someone has hurt you, if a boss has created a toxic work environment for you, remember you're called to forgive them. We're reminded by Jesus directly in Matthew chapter 18, verses 21 and 22, Peter comes to Jesus and he says to Jesus, Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister who sins against me? Is it up to 7 times? And Jesus reminds him, I tell you, not 7 times, but 77 times, or 7 times 77. The translations say that differently. The point being is that you will get to a point where you can't keep track of how many times you're forgiving someone. The point is not to be legalistic and put the number to this and say, oh, I've forgiven you 77 times. Now if you wrong me a 78th time, I'm not going to forgive you. That's not the point. The point is you're supposed to forgive someone so many times that you're not even keeping track. And why that's so important, for the Christian and non-Christian alike, I mean, this is just good advice. Remember, forgiveness at the end of the day isn't about the person you're forgiving. It's about you. I did a whole video on forgiving toxic people. If you want to take a look at that, I'll put a card here and a link in the description below. But it's so vital for your mental, emotional, spiritual well-being to forgive people who have wronged you. That doesn't mean you have to call them up and say, hey, I forgive you. Because some people don't know they've done wrong to you, and some people don't even want your forgiveness. But that doesn't matter. We must start by forgiving that person in our heart so we can move on from that pain and that anger and that bitterness and that hardship. So again, if Ellen directly impacted you, if by chance you see this video and you are a Christian, remember you're called to forgive her. If you're not a Christian, it's still good for your mental, emotional, spiritual well-being to forgive her. And for those Christians here that are watching this video, please remember that if anyone does wrong to you personally, whether it's someone famous or someone not famous, you are called to forgive them. And I promise you that through that forgiveness you offer that person, you will be blessed. And remember, the most important thing when you talk about forgiveness is that Jesus died for that person too. And Jesus paid for that person's sins too. And Jesus forgives that person too. So who are you to withhold your forgiveness against anyone? Christian friends, that's all I got for you today. As Forrest Gump once said, that's all I got to say about that. And as always, please continue to be the salt of the earth, be the light to the world. Go encourage somebody else today because the world desperately, desperately needs it. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.